Good morning from San Remijo,
Cebu.
Cebu Island. Ah, boy.
Finally, the sun is out.
Oh,
Ah,
yeah.
hallelujah.
It'll get scorching today because it won't be about the temperature, guys. It's going to be the humidity.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this isn't like Toronto, Great Lakes humidity. It's not the same. Uh, we don't get the dry lightning type humidity. What do they call it? St. Elmo's fire and such that I hear that they get in the Greater Toronto, Great Lakes area.
Great Lakes.
Yeah. So, Lynn, you came across a fellow who's worked with the AAC,
Yeah.
and
He said that, they're using the other company. We use Light Strong. They use the Light Block. He said that they use the adhesive that they use to stick the AAC block, to pile the AAC block, mix the adhesive into the concrete,
right,
and then they skim coat the wall,
right,
the AAC wall.
yeah.
So
So the
yeah,
guys did an experiment yesterday, but felt that it was good enough to roll on,
yeah,
so they rolled it on. Now we bought some paint. We're going to paint over the couple of experiments that we've done on the
yeah.
side. So we'll give you an update on that. And wow, we've
We'll
got
see.
we've got a door.
Come on in, we got a door.
Does your wife sing every time she?
Yeah. Okay, I don't sing. I just do like that.
Lost in translation. Literally, that's what happened with Lynn and I when talking with Michael about the electrical. He just couldn't, well, between my terminology and his terminology and Lynn trying to translate, literally got lost in translation. So Michael contacted a friend of his, and the net result is that the tapping for the power is going to happen behind our electrical box in an area where we will hang a piece of Hardy Flex, but screwed in so that we can remove this if we need access. What we came across in Angeles was a friend of ours was in a condo, minor earthquake. I think it was about a 4.1 if I'm not mistaken. And the net result is a wire came loose and they had to fire a guy up in the ceiling about EMOC size. And that was not easy because it was drywall for the ceiling and there was a high risk that he was going to go through it or pop screws or all sorts of things. So over here we did a sample of the different methods that have been given to us. And so the guys are rolling on some paint onto it, and let's find out what that finish looks like after it's dried. And do we need a second coat? This paint goes on wonderfully, guys. It's an acrylic waterproof paint, and it goes on wonderfully. Later on, or maybe sooner than later, we will get to these windows, and I want to work and supervise with them at the same time. So we will look at hanging those windows. We bought them all yesterday. They're all sitting in the car, but the guys do what they do, and then I just slide my little projects in between, and it's a good relationship. All right, this is one area I did not think that I was going to have to get involved, given that these guys are trowel guys, they should be. But are they really? No, they're not really. What they are is splatter and then swirl to finish. And then they use these skinny little putty knives, because that's what they do with concrete, guys. So let's see if they're doing it my way. I went in there, I let them have at it. They did a little bit of the wall, it's all patchy, it's swirly and all that sort of thing. And I showed them and I said, look, it's better for your back, it's better for everything. Get down nice and low, put a healthy amount on your trowel, get it about 75, 80 degrees, and pull all the way up and just keep doing this until you've surfaced. And then you go back and maybe just pick up a little bit of side spin off. But I said, wherever there's a scratch or whatever, ignore it. Pick it up in the second coat. Nothing is ever perfect on the first coat. Ask a drywaller. Let's go see how they did. Joseph, he's just such trouble. Okay, I'll show you this tool in a second here, guys. We made it out of a rasp, and it's coming in extremely handy to get rid of some of those, I'll call it bigger imperfections, but they're minor, but they show up, right? Anyway, so the guys are at it here. I'm teaching them not to worry about stuff like that. Don't worry about it. You take care of that in your sanding. But the kicker with this first course is to get nice, big, long, linear strokes. Think like drywall, guys. You don't go in and go, you know, left, right, left, right, left, right. So now he's getting it here, right? This first course is all about just getting into all those minor imperfections of the AAC. So now he's, and the angle, you see, he's got the angle better. There we go. Well, a very productive day. So a couple of things are happening. Let's start with the door. So on the door, the guys have kind of missed what I had said to them, and they're doing a very, very thin layer here. They can finish that, but then what I want them to do is thicken it up, because it's going to look like a sore thumb if you don't make it look a little bit more like a postie. Over here, it's worked out just fine. We can flush that up and just finish the wall. The big thing was Michael and getting this electrical done. He has finally come to see the light, literally. So he's got all of his, how did he call them now? I can't remember what he's calling it, but anyway, his terminology, my terminology just weren't getting together, but now he sees the way. Don't put the junction boxes up in the ceiling, run more pipe and put it in here. Think of it like a condo and a meter room. All the junction stuff happens there. And the main problem, guys, is that they have these miniature boxes. We're used to using those big things and having lots of room to have extra wires, because you have the neutral bus, you have the ground bus. Okay, so this has been very encouraging. I have to take each one of the guys one by one and show them exactly how to do skim coating. They don't know skim coating. Even the one guy that came over that said that's what he does as a life, well, he comes in with his little 4-inch scraper. I said, where's your big trowels? You said you use big trowels. Oh no, I can do it just as fast with this. Okay, start at it. Boom, 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 boom. He did it. And I said, okay, now here's how it's done. Scrape, scrape. They don't get it, guys. And so you can either buy into the program or you can get it done quickly. So what did we get done? Well, we got this entire bedroom up to the 180 centimeter mark. Now we're going to put the staging in here so that the guys can get the upper end. But this wall, including all of the training time and everything, has got a double coat on it. Emok, I was working with him on this wall, and again, trying to drive home to them. The very first coat is there to help drink into the AAC. It's there to get rid of the roughness of the AAC and to get little spots like that filled, okay? It's not worrying about, where can I see one here, a scratch that maybe you picked up some sand off of the wall and you've created a scratch, right? And so don't worry about that. Get your first coat on. Your second coat then is the miracle coat, as I kept saying to him. Then you'll start seeing stuff. But again, still do not go back and try and touch up those scratch marks. Then we'll come in with the sand. You sand it. You don't try and sand out those scratch marks. Then you put a little putty on, take a pencil or whatever you might use for marking, and then you can come back, do a final touch, and you should be good to go. Now, I am anticipating probably having to do a third coat with the putty, which is fine. I'm happy with that, more than happy with that. That will go down just fine. And I am not looking for perfection in these walls, guys. You do not find them anyway in the Philippines, so just live with it. There we go. I am extremely happy. I've got 3 guys now that are on board with doing a proper way of doing the putty here. Okay, getting these skim coats done. None of these microscopic little blades, which, here we go. This is the one that they prefer. And this, all this is they go along and they do this. That's all they do, all day long. It gets absolutely nowhere. Don't understand it. Would have figured that the oligarch types, the types that are doing the, you know, these big push-up buildings like Deca Homes and all of these ones, Fiesta, etc., that they would be trying to get these guys moving. And okay, and so now the guys are starting to use these trowels. They're not the greatest. I prefer one that has a single handle coming off of it. Boy, does that ever work well. You can get them in up to 12 inches. But I'm okay with, what is this here? I think this is 8-inch. Well, it might be closer to 10-inch blade for getting, you know, this coating on here. So I am ecstatic because essentially we have got, let's say if we include this and transpose that into the other room, we've got first coat on 30% of the house. 30% of the house with a first coat. So happy about that. And I'll tell you this part drives me crazy. So the guy that we tested out had already given us this quote when he was giving the demo. He wanted 130,000 pesos, and we had to supply the materials. Go pound sand. They don't get it, guys. This gets in the way. They immediately think that you've got lots of cash. Whatever they're thinking, I have no idea what's going on in their brain. They actually are okay with giving up work by giving a stupid price. They're just hoping that they hit a home run. Not with this cat. Lynn and I are ready to go out. Okay, later, Gators.